Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Thursday, August 7th. Look at this market. That is a surprise little pop to the upside. Nothing really I can see which is causing it, but look at that thing. So we had a couple of days of selling. Uh, if you look at this would be a daily chart. So you see a little rotation down up here, a couple of big moves down, and then complete reversal, and a little slop, and here we go again, right back up again. So on the profile, we had a pretty good move. If you split out these 2 days, so here you have those days we're looking at on that daily chart. But pretty good move to the downside. Looks like that's the last day of July, first day of August. Uh, Second day or after this was this Monday. We got a pretty good retracement. It'd be a couple of holding days, and right now we are on our way higher. So very surprising that I didn't expect them to actually in the overnight to show this much strength. But they are, and we are just going to trade it as we see it. So I would start off on the long side of the market. Before I get there, I'll touch on the news. It's not much news to drive the market today. It's been a complete anemic week, the whole week here. 8:30 we get jobless claims, productivity. 10 o'clock we get wholesale inventories. 10:30 we get a nat gas report. 30-year auction at 1. So the bond market, looking at that at 1 o'clock could be interesting. But that's it. So after jobless claims, not much to drive the market. And right now it looks like they're trying to take it higher. So very surprising. I thought they were struggling to getting above that 63.60 to or 63.75 to 80, but they did, and now we're trading above it. So good start of the day, I would say. I would start from the long side of the market, looking to buy a weakness. I want to get this guy a little bit bigger. I'm going to adjust that guy. And why am I doing that? I'm watching it there. That's so. I'm going to include that two little edge right there. So when I do that, it gets my level a little bit better. So looking to buy weakness against this first ledge, 6400, against the 6390, 6380, down to that 6370. They back off below that 6370, bets are off. I would say I would probably shift my bias already looking at the 6380 level. But below that London low, if they start trading below that, I would take off the long bias and going back range bound. At this point, looks like we are trying to run it up to test the upper edges to the highs again. The attractor area is right here at the 6400s, and that's where we are right now. We traded a little bit above it, and we're back down to it. And I would just start off looking for higher prices, keep bias to the upside. Very mindful though that this could be as a probe to the upside. We may run out of gas here and see a rotation right back down again. So you have to be mindful about that and just kind of trade what you see. But initially, and there's no reason not to trade this on the long side of the market. So looking to buy against the 6400s, 6390, 6380, 70 for rotations back up. Below 80s, we take off the long bias. Below 70s, I think we may be having some trouble and going to be down here in this lower range again. And I would not be totally surprised if that happens, as long as they hold this support area here at the 6310s, that ledge. If they hold that one, they probe that below that one, and then right back up again, and then this is where they stalled in these two kind of holding days. So 6310 is going to be the level to watch if this is going to start taking a leg lower. And right now it doesn't look like it, but you know how quickly things can change. So we're just going to take this with a grain of salt. Remember what it looked like when we were trading up here, we're making new highs, ready to go higher. Overnight was looking great, yeah, and then 2 days later we are down here at the 6230s. Like, oh shit, what happened? So that's the elevator down effect. Right now we had been down and we shook out a bunch of weak and long positions. That lower support at 6230 held. We've been in the middle at the 63.50 that volume edge for a bit. We have taken out the 80s out now, and we are extending to the upside. So start from the long side. Not going to be super aggressive on the short side, but there's a couple of shorts up here potential at least. It's going to be one up here at the 64.30s, 64, and then it's going to be up here at 64.40s. So these two resistance areas, I would look for short setups against. Above that, I mean, we're going to be right back up in price discovery in no time. So I'm going to be not going to be super aggressive on the short side, but if I'm going to take a short, a bigger short to look for one, it's going to be around about 64.20, 25 up to that 40 level for rotations back down. So these upper levels. They start trading above the 40s, 64.40s. I'm going to just stay on the long side and see how far I can take it. So that's the ES to get started. Let's see if this overnight is going to keep going. And looking at the bonds and the NASDAQ. One market just kind of stalling. Still don't know what that big move down here was. This came out London closed, big move down, right back up again. and right, that's kind of where we are right now. So going sideways, holding above that 115 level. So 115.10 is or 115 is the level when we start backing this thing off again. And capital flow wise, we had this move to the upside. They've been holding up here for a bit. One probe to the downside. That was like a weird move here from yesterday. And right now we are kind of holding here. Still holding above that volume edge. Still holding right at this 115.10 level. So we'll see if they can't extend. We're probably going to see them just rotate right back down to the 113s. So that's going to be the almost starting to think that this is failing on us, but not quite. So I'm going to stay with a slight bias to the upside. Looking to buy against the 1510s, 1505s, 15s for rotations back up. Below our 15s, we are back range bound. I'm thinking that we're heading back in that lower range again at that point. And on the way up, looking for shorts against the 115.20, 25, 116s for rotations back down, maybe up to that 116.06. A little bit of caution though still. I mean, they haven't been extended. It's not like they're in the move out of the middle to the upside. So if it starts trading higher, I would look for short setups against these resistance areas up to that 116.06. So that's the bonds, range bound trading on that guy, slight bias to the upside. NASDAQ also spectacular, moving higher in a wild clip. So big moves back and forth here. Same story there. Big shakeout on the NASDAQ all the way down here to 22,800. And market is just not letting a lot of people in. So it feels very much like one of those trades where you try to get long and it just doesn't back off enough for you to feel comfortable. You end up having to buy the high. And I mean, as the market keeps trading higher, you're going to have a lot of pressure on fund managers which are sitting on the sidelines, not performing at all because they're waiting for the sell-off, the tariff sell-off, which is not happening. So if they start buying, coming into this and had to start allocating money, then this is going to keep going. But right now we have taken out this ledge area here at the 23,400s, in fact the 380 to 400s. They were stalling here for a bit, and I would just stay on the long side on the NASDAQ, same as the ES. Looking to buy against that 540s, the 500s, 460s down to the 430s. Rotations back up. The 430 level gets us right to that little low volume node right there. You see that little low volume dent? That's the 430. So if they take that out, I would be thinking a bit we can retrace back in this lower range. So it's right now they're looking to buy against support 540s, 500s, 460s down to that 430 level for rotations back up. So that's what that is, and I would just on the way up, there may be a short here at the 630s, maybe one here at the 680s, these two resistance areas, but I'm not going to be that aggressive on them. If they start moving this higher, I would be more inclined to just stay on the long side of this. So we'll see when the market open if you're going to get this nice rush to the upside or if they're going to try to knock down this overnight. But starting off on the long side, not going to be very aggressive on the short side, though there is opportunity for a couple of shorts up here against that 630 and the 600 580, 590, and the 600, 630s. These two resistance areas. For rotations back down. I think, yeah, I included 690 to 700 in that too. So, but I mean, this we are trading at the 580s now, so the levels should really be 630 and the 700s. That's the ones you may look for short setups against. But I wouldn't be too aggressive about it. It's if this little move to the upside gets it a bit of traction, probably see new highs here in short order. Finally, oil and gold. Not going to spend too much time on those two. Gold is still holding to the upside. So interesting, right? So gold is trading higher, holding the highs as the stock market trades higher. So it's a little bit counterintuitive. You usually expect gold to trade higher when you have some financial, like monetary kind of concerns or geopolitical issues. Right now, it's holding on pretty good here above that 64, or sorry, 34. Where's my 3420 was the one to break. Now we have a pretty good ledge here at the 3440s and 3445s. So these are the three levels I would look to buy against. The 45s, the 40s down to that 30s. The attractor areas was a little bit lower. Let me get my capital flow over there. So that was a little bit lower. This is the area. If it starts trading below that 3440s, here's small attractor. Here's the bigger attractor, 3400, and they took that out pretty convincingly, right? So now up here probing. This is getting some volume building up here as well. So you see, this is the volume edge we took out. But the fact that they're up here and probing the highs and taking out these two previous high nodes at the 3440s, yeah, stay on the long side for now. See how far they can take it. It could very well be, remember, when gold retraces, it does it pretty violently too. So you can see them run it right back here to 3400 pretty hard. But I would start off on the long side, looking to buy against the 45s, the 38 to 39s, up to the 30, down to the 30s, rotations back up. Below 30s, taking off that long bias and going back range bound. Still looking to buy against the 23s, the 15s, maybe even down to 3400s, but with a lot less aggressiveness at that point. If you're backing off that far, I would probably be trying a short trade on the way down here to see how far they can take it. So that's the goal to get started, but it's still capital flow still pointed higher, exchange member charge pointed higher. If the shorter term chart starts looking like more range bound, doesn't change the really big capital flow picture either. So that's gold. Finally, oil. They're down here. They're probing the 64s. Watch this. They're reverse retesting 65 right now. So I'm thinking that we may see a little bust to the downside. We'll see if that materializes or not. But the oil poised to take this lower. All the stuff about Russia meeting and potential breakthrough in the Ukraine war situation could be the reason it popped down like this. I'm gonna hold off on my judgment on that until I see something happening. See if it's for real or not. But if it's for real, that's going to be a pretty significant achievement, and probably going to take a lot of geopolitical risk off the table. So at this point, I would start off with a slight bias to the downside. If the trade up above that 65, I'm back range bound up in this range. But right now, I'm looking at the 65 as a reverse retest spot for rotations back down again. And on the way down, you can still look to buy against the 6460s, the 6420s, maybe even onto the 6360s. But I would think that once you start heading down below that 64 level, you may have an edge down here as well at the 64s. A little bit murky right now, but this is right in that low volume area. So I would say below that 6410s, I would stay on the short side to see how far I can take it on the downside. So that's oil. Starting with a slight bias to the downside, above 65, we're taking off that short bias and going back range bound. All right, back to the ES, and the key question for today: are they still move to the upside in the overnight? Going to hold on, or are we going to see it reverse? So initially, we started from the long side. Watch that level, the 6380s on the ES. Below that one, we may have to shift bias, definitely below the 70s. And on the Nasdaq, those levels are down at the 500 and down to that 430 and the 500 levels. So that's how we get started. Let's see if the little move to the upside really gets some traction or not. All right, that's going to be the key question as the markets open. So we'll wrap it there for now. We got news in about 10, not that much, but a little bit coming out. So good trading, guys. I'll see you back at 11:30 for the next update. Can't spell trading for shit, huh? Good trading. There you go. All right, good trading. I'll see you back later.